Rock'em Sock'em Robots, guys.
Come on. Ooh, talk about a good game.
That is not a video game.
Dude, it's so good. I was so bad at it, though. I was never good at the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Were you?
Fucking get your thumbs going.
Were you the red one or the blue one?
It was always red.
Why?
Red's my favorite color.
Do you think reds, made you more... Did you think the red one was stronger?
I thought the red one was cooler because I like the
Did
color.
you also think that different colored M&Ms tasted different? Because you're right, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Red is the best tasting one. Green, then blue.
You liked green.
I like green. I didn't like yellow. Yellow always tasted gross to me. I never ate the yellows.
Well, orange.
There's no such...
There's a
thing
yellow
as-
M&M.
Yellow is the first peanut M&M.
Oh, that's what I usually eat.
Wait, is it really? It's not like a milk chocolate one?
I don't think so.
Have you had the caramel M&Ms?
Is he coming in through there?
Yeah.
Okay. Because now I could barely hear him.
Yeah, you turned me down.
Oh, no. There you go.
Hey, have you ever had the caramel M&Ms?
They're disgusting.
You don't like them?
No, absolutely
Really?
not.
Have you tried those, David?
No, I don't like caramel. Caramel.
It's caramel.
It's caramel.
It's caramel.
Anyone
Really?
says caramel's on crack.
I'm sorry. I'm just reeling from all these reality jumps.
Yeah, we've had quite an interesting setup. David was willing to... Well, first of all, it's incredibly windy outside.
We apologize for that. But it's Earth.
And then David decided to almost, get ready to fight us over the fact that those were not his headphones when they're the same ones.
They're not my headphones.
They're the same headphones. You bought us the same pair for us.
No, okay. So you know how there's times where like something happens and then you shift realities and you're in a parallel reality? That's what happened because these are not my headphones.
Do you think we're in our base reality?
Right now?
Yeah.
Now that these are different?
Yeah.
We'll find... I
You
mean,
know what reality we are in?
Isn't every reality your base reality because that's the one you're living in?
Do you know the reality we are in?
What's that?
We're in the drummer reality. Roll that intro, David.
David forgot that he'd already played it, so now he has to rewind it.
This is
Do you want me to redo it again?
Yeah,
That's
please.
I like to do
But
my
keep
cheers.
all this in.
Because I like to think that I cheers like our audience,
Yeah, this will stay in the video. All right, ready?
Want to cheers me this time?
No.
All right.
I want to cheers the
I'll
audience.
cheers you.
Cheers.
I'm Drumm.
I'm drummer. David, you did not cheers me at all. You just went like this and just drank it.
I'm sorry, you guys are always really off with when the video cuts. So
Oh, really?
I was just showing you where it is. You got it though.
I didn't get it.
You're always a little too early, but that's okay.
I like to do the I like to tap when it has that little snare drum. It just fits in my head.
What a musician!
That's such a musician thing to say.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Week 62.
Week 62, guys.
I feel like this is gonna be a rough one.
5 plus 5, 10. Plus 8, 18. Plus 2, 20. Plus 4, 24. Plus 6, 30. Plus 10, 40. Times 1, 40. Plus 5, 45. Plus 3, 48. Plus 2, 50. Plus 6, 56. Plus 4, 60. Plus 2, 62.
And as always, we're your hosts. I'm Drumm.
And I'm Drummer.
And this is a podcast about brotherhood and the 3 S's: self-improvement,
Supernatural,
and storytelling.
Dalton, why were you so low energy doing that counting?
I had to really focus. It's been a day.
What's been going on, guy? Talk to me.
Well, so sometimes you just wake up in a funk. So I kind of woke up in a funk. Not really. It's only because of this reason. If I woke up, got my ass up, and went to the gym at 4:30 like I should have done, I would have been fine. But I woke up at...
He snoozed his alarm. I heard it from my bedroom.
I snoozed my alarm, and I didn't realize it. And I woke up at 7 a.m.
He has an alarm that goes...
Matthew hates that alarm.
I hate it because I wake up to it. And I'm always like, oh, shoot. All right. It's time to get up.
There's a whole bunch of ways. There's a whole bunch of things you can do that are like not waking up other people. Like there's light alarm clocks. There's headbands that have headphones inside of them.
Really?
So you can sleep on your side with them instead of having your big ass, buds in.
Nice.
Right on. I'm not gonna do that.
Have you heard of the alarm? That I think we've talked about it before, which is like a little
Roller?
yeah, a little roller, and then it like rolls around your room away from you, and you have to like shoot it with a gun or something to turn it off.
That's
It
smart.
has a little target on it.
That's smart.
I would not be accurate, and my whole house would be awake because I would miss.
And
Wake up at 7.
I woke up at 7, and I got up, and I was like, I gotta go to work at like 7:30. So I wake up and I walk out, and Matthew's coming back from the gym, which is like, I was like, fuck, I don't want to look at Matthew right now because I knew Matthew
Shame.
was. Yeah, Matthew was like, you didn't go to the gym, so
Shame.
he didn't really bother me on it. He just asked how I was doing, so that was fine. But it would just kind of put me in like in a weird place. So getting my day started was really hard, and then I couldn't have my breakfast. So I was just running late. I just fucked up. So I was having a weird morning. So finally I got my life going, got everything moving. But yeah, I had to really hit my numbers today, so I had to really like eat a lot of chicken and tortillas. So yeah, it's been a day. I'm kind of tired. Workout was rough too. Everything. It's just been a rough one all around. But I feel like it's been like a rough. It's like a rough vibe of a week for me. I don't know what it is. Do you have that kind of vibe?
No, I do not.
How was your morning?
No, he's just great. 100%.
I'm
He's
just
the best.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. You're like a really, really strong individual.
I've got a blistering headache right now. Whenever the winds like this get this bad around the house, like my sinuses and my allergies just destroy me. And I got home, and then when I got home, the winds are really bad over here. So I was like, I don't want to take a Zyrtec because by the time it kicks in, I'm going to have to go to sleep.
Exactly.
So after this, I'll probably take a couple Benadryl just so I don't feel like terrible in the morning, and then I'll call it a night.
But we have a podcast to do.
And we're here. We're
And
delivering.
We're gonna do it.
We're delivering the goods. David, how's your week so far, man?
Delivering it deliriously. Oh, good. Just getting packed. No, it's stressful. Stressful as
Yeah,
fuck.
I can imagine.
I can
but
vibe with it.
I got that for the square up later.
right,
So
for sure.
we're good for now. But the Powerball is at $700 million right now.
Hey, we should buy a ticket. You guys want to? We'll split through.
What's
Let's
the
do it.
meme? What's the meme with the little kid? My grandpa
Here
said,
comes the
"Here
Powerball."
comes the Powerball." Yes.
And so we've talked enough about what we would do if we won the lottery, Mr. Cruise Ship Businessman.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah, remember?
You're so smart.
But when you're rich and you
I
have
would bring back arcades. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
and you have kids, how would your approach be to that? If you have money, but you don't necessarily want your kids to grow up reliant on it or spoiled off of it. And I'll start with the question of, would you buy expensive brand clothing for your kids if you were rich?
I feel like clothes don't matter to me.
Like, would they be wearing Gucci onesies?
Yeah, we're not the most fashionable people, David. If you haven't noticed, but
They'd have a tiny hiney for a toilet. I'll tell you that. You know what that is?
No.
Dude.
they'd probably have like the best like products that's like for like a mother and the child.
Yeah.
You know, like they'd probably have the best products of those things. But when it came to like when they were like, my baby would have fucking Vans, Story So Far t-shirt, hats, spin backwards hats to put on, just dress him like a little skater boy, a little pop punker, you know. I would never be like, oh, here's your Gucci pants that you're gonna wear for 2 weeks and you're gonna grow out of them. Fuck off. You get that yourself when you're old enough. I would never do that.
But say they're like 5 and they want an electric guitar, or they want like the most top-notch skateboard that you can find on the market.
I vibe.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would give in because I would want one too. Yeah, I'd probably just do it
like,
with them.
like stuff like that, I would absolutely like get them. But clothes,
Clothes, not really.
So what would you spoil your kids on versus what wouldn't you spoil your kids on?
When it comes to
experiences,
something you can fail at and learn how to work up to, you know, like something that's to kind of give you like strengths and weaknesses, and you get to work on those things as they come along. So like even skateboarding taught us a lot on how to fail and just keep trying.
yeah,
you know,
you either make it or you don't. And
Music.
it's very obvious when you don't.
Yeah, and music, just the same thing, you know? And plus, it would give me such an excuse to just do it too. Like, just why not try it out? And it's something to have a connection with your kid. You know what I mean?
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not going to, like, not be wearing nice clothes, but it wouldn't be, like, Gucci onesies or anything.
I don't think
like
they'll
that.
have, like, 30 pairs of shoes to choose from. I think two or three is a good amount of shoes to choose from. I think.
Of shoes?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would fight you on that.
Absolutely. I
Really?
think you would fight yourself on that.
How many pairs of shoes do I have?
You have
Matt?
so many pairs of shoes in your room.
How many?
At least more than 2 or 3.
All right. Here's what I have. I have Aldi Chelsea boots that I like, but I only wear them when I dress and go out to nice places. And then I have dress shoes that I wear for any type of suit that I wear. It just goes with it. I don't give a fuck. And then I have a pair of Vans shoes. Slides don't really count. I have a lot of shoes. I need to throw this fuckers away. And then I have Vans mountain shoes, which are really dope. They're good for all weather.
How many times have you gone to the mountains?
Hey, it worked out that one time. Remember, David?
It did. It really did.
Didn't I look super cool?
Yeah.
David saw me. He's like, whoa.
I have pictures of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, damn, that guy looks really good walking on the snow. I was like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I got 2 pairs of Vans.
Which of the shoes that you own would be the best ones to do splits in?
I would say the slides. What do you think?
Slides?
Why? Is it because it says you can slide in it?
Matt? Exactly.
All right,
he gets
guys,
Me.
he
He just
gets
gets
you.
me.
It's like
time.
your brothers.
He's
or
like my
something.
brother.
It's time for my week 3 update.
4.
Week.
Is it week 4?
Three.
Week 4.
Updates.
January has 5 weeks.
Doing this.
All right,
Technically, because it started on a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
did.
right. So week 4 update. I'm actually, no, that's not true. I'm a little closer than last time we spoke. But I'm definitely same thing. I feel more controlled in holding myself upright. But the problem is I started a new style of training last week.
Did we talk about that last week? His new style? No.
So
feel like
I'm
we
doing
talked about
something
it.
called power building, where it's a mixture between powerlifting, bodybuilding. I gave you guys the rundown. But basically, my hamstrings were so sore last week that I couldn't walk for 3 days.
Trust me, we heard about it.
Which made stretching for the splits basically not possible without immense amounts of
He
pain.
was immobile for about 4 days.
It was terrible. So I'm good. Week 2's going much better than week 1. So I'm able to.
What?
So week 2 of my new training.
Oh,
Oh,
new training. New
yeah,
training.
Right on, right
splits.
on,
Yeah.
right on.
This is
okay.
week 4, 3, 4.
Yeah.
It's one of the weeks
That's
of the
right. You'll
splits.
finish it.
But yes, and so I was feeling kind of down because I really don't know if this is possible, if I can get there. And then Monique looked me in my eyes and she said,
Time to suffer.
"You can do this."
Oh, yeah.
That's when I knew that I will do this. So,
I wish I only needed that talk. You can do this.
all right.
All right.
So, but it's going well. I'm still doing it a lot. I spent a good amount of time yesterday in the splits, and I haven't been home today, so I haven't done it today. But I'll probably do it first thing tomorrow morning. But yeah.
All right. Well, I have a question for both of you.
I have an answer. Maybe. Actually, probably not.
So at my work, we're all all of our desks are next to a window, basically, so people can see us.
Get a nice view.
And so we all have our own paddle. That's just it's like a whiteboard paddle that you just put up in the window.
Did you decorate yours?
What would you put on yours?
I would leave mine blank.
You would just leave it blank?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I wouldn't know what to put on it. Or I would put a message to them, wave, honk if you're horny. Or yell if you're horny or
For
something.
people
like
that are walking by your window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Dalton?
I feel like it would be a question of a physical action, do this if you're reading it, and then be reading it, and be wiggle our arms. It would just look funny. Because I would forget the board's up there,
You're like,
and then
"What the
somebody in front of
hell
our window
is
would be
going
and I'd be all right, cool, and then I would remember later on, oh, I'd put the sign up. That makes sense.
How close are you to the beach? You're not close to the beach.
I'm 5 minutes to the beach.
Okay, but you can't
Fuck
see the
off.
water.
I can't see water.
You
but
can't see otters, can you?
I can see otters in the water.
No, you can't. You can see otters in the water.
I can see otters in the water while I'm reading Harry Potter. But
hate-
enough of all this fodder.
I'm terrible with words.
Yeah, no, I finally found something that justifies the entire super long list of movie quotes that I
Nice.
have
There you
and
go.
quotes that I've been picking up from books and stuff like that. So every day is just a different quote.
What does everybody else do?
Some people put messages on where they're going, if they're out at lunch, or some people just put busy or in a meeting or stuff. Someone else put a quote first, and that's what gave me the idea. But his is an inspirational quote, and I was like, nah.
You should actually do this. You should get all your quotes, but mess them up slightly. slightly. And if somebody notices,
Like
then
always get them kind of wrong.
get them kind of wrong, because someone can like fix it, and then you can talk to them about it.
Like
That's good.
you miss 100% of the shots that you miss, like something like that.
That was the first quote I did.
And then you also
with
be
the Michael Scott one.
Like looking at it, or like how the turntables.
That's good, but also I don't always want to talk to people.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck
So-
me.
Hey,
Don't listen to me.
that's what I was gonna say.
hate
Is I
myself.
feel like if you do something like that where you make them interact with you, that's opening the door for them to come up and
Yeah.
Networking, baby.
Within my own company.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah. So today's was I can't build you a candy house, Edith. It will fall apart. The sun will melt the candy. By Dewey Cox.
do it, Cox.
But anyway, why do we reflect on the unnecessary? This is what Dalton sent me. Dalton sent me this.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking this because we all do this. We all do this. We all, and I've been working on it. This is why it's in my head so much. But we all think about things that we did in the past that's cringy, or we think of a sentence that we said that like didn't make sense and we were embarrassed on how we said it or how it came across. Or we think of a situation that we were super uncomfortable with and we reacted very badly to. You know, and it makes you go like, ugh. Like you just have those moments where like you're just sitting down, chilling, and then stupid thought comes in your head and you go, fuck, why did I say that? You know what I mean? And that happened to me like a few times last week. And I was like researching on how to maybe like just, you know, figure out how to like learn from that experience and not have it happen again. Just kind of get used to always looking like always in the present and the future, not living in the past. So, what this one guy said to do was to take like a bunch of breathing exercises every time something like that happens, and you do 3 breaths of breathing in, and when you breathe in, you just think like all the good stuff. You want good things, and you're pushing out the bad things when you breathe out. Pushing out bad, breathing in the good, pushing out the bad, breathing in the good, pushing out the bad. And so then that takes you into your brain and you start thinking about breathing, which brings you back to the present. And so you're not thinking about the past anymore, and you just move forward with your day instead of like dwelling on it, because sometimes you have one thought and then it leads to more and more and more and more.
Snowball effect.
Yeah. Do you have do you have that at all?
Absolutely. I think everybody does. I mean,
That sounds like anxiety.
It's a form of it, but not as like it doesn't it doesn't do like anything to you. It just like kind of goes, why did I do that?
Yeah, and I think it's because like, you know, we have this idea, we have an ego where we have an image of ourselves that we like to hold ourselves to, right? And 9 times out of 10, those situations that come up, we don't fit that mold. So that's why it sticks out to us. And so we're trying to figure out, why did I do that? Why did I do this? Why, you know, and a lot of times it comes from like a lack of the ability to like forgive ourselves for that. And that's something that I've always struggled with. Especially when you hold yourself to a high standard, you know, in all situations, when you don't react the way or respond the way that you should have or like ideally would want to, it's hard to do that. And a lot of times people have a hard time forgiving themselves. So whenever I have this stuff, you know, whenever it happens to me, I have a lot of moments of my life that are just so cringy. But, you know, I just like tell myself like, that was me in that moment. Like, I forgive myself. Like, I can't go back and change that, you know? And I think that's where a lot of it comes from this place of like, oh, if only I could go back and change this one thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you have to like, if you have to eat your shit, don't nibble, right? Like throwing it back to the 99-cent advice. Like, you can't. I'm sorry. You can't go back and change whatever's happened. All you can do is accept it, forgive yourself for responding however you responded, and then either A, tell yourself, I don't have to be that person anymore, and make the changes necessary, or B, really dive in. Like, why, if it's a reoccurring issue,
why did that happen?
Why did that happen? Then there's deeper questions to ask.
And then you could go, you know, how can I fix that now if that happened again?
Yeah.
Maybe think in a productive sense instead of thinking like, fuck, that sucked. Like, why'd I do that?
Like,
I'm so stupid.
Don't let it cripple you, you know?
But it's just a very odd thing where like as humans we just think about so many negatives and we can't reflect on the positives. Like there's like days where, you know, I don't have stomach problems and I'm like, I don't think about it. I don't even think about it twice. So now I'm taking like time when I'm in the shower thinking about my day Like, okay, did I have any stomach issues? What did I eat? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? And thinking about how you can fix it instead of dwelling like, oh my God, I almost shit myself on the drive home, shit like that. Instead of like focusing on that, which is something that you would focus on because it's the negative, but focus on the positive. Just like, I didn't shit myself on the drive home.
Well, it's how
because you did it on the front steps.
Exactly.
It's how our brains are wired. Like I've been studying a lot of like persuasion recently, and a lot of it comes from everybody wants like like negativity. It's just easier for us to be attracted to, right? That's why the news, everything is negative. Like if you watch the news, you think like the world is ending tomorrow, you know, as opposed to there's a lot of really amazing shit going on right now. Like there's a lot of really productive things that are very positive, but just as humans, like we're hardwired to see the negative because our bodies are meant for one thing, and that's to survive, right? And how do you survive? Do you survive by like smelling the roses? No, you get fucking eaten if you smell the roses. You survive by looking for things that are slightly out of place, and when it's out of place, that means dangerous. So that's like fight or flight, That's why you'll see a lot of times, if you ever see an advertisement for something, you'll see something that's completely out of its element, right? Like Geico, a fucking gecko selling insurance, right? You don't even think about the insurance, but you remember the gecko. Why? Because it's a gecko usually in an office.
And it's cute.
And you like your body picks up on it and it goes, that's not supposed to be there. So I need to like notice it, right? Same thing. You're like, oh, that's negative. I need to notice it because my life or death might depend on it, right? Like primally. So yeah.
Can we fucking get into the culture differences? I'm so tired of seeing that.
Before we do that, it leads to the question of how do you guys carry your stress?
In my shoulders.
No. Like where it's like, yes, I think physically I'll carry it for a long time, but emotionally, like I don't really carry stress emotionally once the situation is over, or like until the situation is happening. I don't carry any kind of stress emotionally. It's all left over from like physicalness.
When I get stressed out, it's like I get stressed for the moment. Like I have to figure things out. Once I have everything figured out, I kind of just have a switch. I'm just done. Like I can get stressed out or have anxiety, and then I'll just be like, okay, well, this happened. It's okay. Shit happens. And then that's like my switch. So then I'm like, okay, after that. But there's some people that take it forever to get over things. Fortunate for it not to be me, but yeah. How do you handle stress, Matt?
I want to resolve it 90% of the time, like immediately. Like I'd rather like sit down and like have the conversation than like, let it drag on for days and days and days. And then, 90%, then I'm sitting there playing scenarios in my head that 9 times out of 10 don't come to anything. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm expecting it to be this blowout. It's going to be yelling and screaming and crying. And it's usually like a quick conversation, and it just tends to, you rip the Band-Aid off. It's
or
fine.
Just a quick one too.
Or that, if that's what it comes to. But no, I'll definitely hold it for a while longer. Even if once it's been resolved, I will not be upset anymore. But then it's kind of like reflection on my part of like, what did I do? How was I feeling? Why did I react like that? But then once I come to a conclusion on my own terms of like how I handled it, or like what I can do to make sure that doesn't happen again, then I'm pretty good at like just, okay, it's done. Like move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so much of that stress I know comes from, wanting to succeed, wanting to do good and stuff like that. And so I was watching something where it was talking about the difference between cultures, especially between like Asian cultures and American cultures. Yeah,
very
whatever.
Nice, very nice.
And
why are you mad?
Because you acknowledged it. You're supposed to let it flow.
Oh, sorry.
And it was talking about like growing up, and it was the difference between like Asian parents and the way they raise kids versus American parents and the way they raise kids, and like first generation Asian parents that are still very heavily in the culture. And the biggest thing I saw was like, one, American culture focuses on your personal identity and your expression of your identity and like standing out as your own, versus what's called WA, which is a societal harmony.
Yeah.
Which means you
Do your part.
do your part to make society work well.
Yeah.
And don't stray from that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, how do you think that factors into which side do you think you were more on growing up?
Personal expression to the most.
Yeah.
Like that's how your parents raised you.
Oh yeah. I personally was always kind of like just express myself in any way I know how. Just do my own thing. That's why I got super into like art. That's why I love art. That's why I love just like music or any type of art form. It just the creativity of that is so inspiring to me. So that's why I always kind of like went towards that, and so that never really led for me to do well in more structural studies such as school. But that was more of a personal thing. I don't know. How are you? How did you feel about this?
I don't know. It automatically makes me think of like.
So I think you do have like the obligation part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I was a mixture of both. I definitely think like societal harmony was like big for me because I didn't want to cause conflict or cause rift. And I always tended to be like the peacekeeper for a lot of, situations and people in my life. But I think this shows like the, individualistic approach versus like the tribal community where like, it takes a tribe to raise a child. Like you hear that saying all the time. But I don't know. I feel like I had both. Like I definitely made my opinion heard when I needed to. But also too, I always ran it through this filter of like, I don't like to waste my breath. I don't like to waste my time. And I've always been like this. So even though I talk a lot, if I don't think you're actually going to hear me, I won't say a word. If you give me a situation and like you tell me what's going on and I just like can see it in your eyes that you're not in a place to listen, you just need to vent. I won't state my opinion or anything. Or if I just don't think that you're a person that is, willing to actually hear another point of view. Because I'll say things I don't necessarily believe just to have somebody see the other side of things. I just think that that's important for logical thinking,
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
And so one of the experiments they did with children of both groups was something. If take a few seconds for each of you and describe your mom.
My mother. Our mother. In what way?
Just describe. That's all you get. Describe your mom.
She likes really bad movies. But she's sweet. She's caring. She always let me express myself. So I guess she always focused, I think, for both of us on self-expression or just making sure we're heard. Mm-hmm. So she always made sure we had a voice. And she did it herself too. So, we kind of learned from her handling issues that we went through. She's very honest in a lot of ways. So I feel like that's where a lot of my honesty comes from. It's kind of giving the blunt truth.
Matt?
My mom's sweet. She listens. She gives her opinion even when you don't want it. Yeah. Everything Dalton said.
Yeah.
Okay, because it showed cultures that focused on like honor and achievement and success and stuff. The children would describe their mother in terms of the relationship with them as a mother. And when it comes to like, oh, she helps me with my homework, she takes me to practice, she does this stuff as her role as a parent, compared to personal expression identity groups, which describe their mother as an individual person.
Yeah.
And so I might have biased you a little bit because of the conversation we're talking about, but the way your very first thing was she likes really bad movies was very much that's my mom as a person rather than against me.
And bad movies, I mean, she likes all these weird silent films that, like Matthew says, a fat woman jiggling.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes.
It's like they do a shot and then like there's like 7 lines and they do it like line by line, but they just go back to the same shot in between every time. So.
But the other thing is, it's really good. We talked about it a little bit, was the Confucian culture, which is that a child has obligations for the entire family. So it's like when, a meal's being had, the youngest serves everyone else. Yeah. And all that kind of stuff. Do you guys think you
that's fucking stupid.
Fall in line with that?
I do. He doesn't.
Fuck that.
Why?
I don't owe anything to anybody. They think I do, they can fuck off.
How did you cultivate that kind of thought process?
Matthew will say it's a younger sibling thing.
It is.
But it's not. I think it's a point of view where it's like, I'm gonna live my life the way I want to live it, and if people don't agree on it, they can fuck off. It's very simple. If I want to be happy for myself, I don't want to be happy because you're happy. I'm not gonna base my happiness off of you. What does it matter?
But I also think you're afforded that because of the way you were raised. Mm-hmm. Like there are people that can never even fathom thinking that way because they were never taught any other way.
Maybe.
For me, it's like I see it as like a form of respect. Like you guys have done so much for me that I do and don't know about, you know, on both ends. Like if this is, and I'm big on rite of passages though, right? Like I worked for my dad. Like I got to learn my father's trade. And that's a rite of passage. Like, and I got to do it. And it's probably one of like my favorite working experiences ever was working for him, right?
All the free lunches you got?
No, it has nothing to do with that. I would have paid for all of them.
Still.
But like, because if you look back in biblical times, like you didn't have a last name. You weren't David Rodriguez. You were David, the son of so-and-so. And then your last name. So it was like Jesus the carpenter, Joseph the carpenter. You were your like trade.
Your father's trade or your trade?
Well, you became your father's trade.
Oh.
Right? So.
Right on.
But with that comes a certain amount of like respect for that job itself, you know? And so I always really liked that tradition and like that rite of passage of like you become a man when you learn your father's trade. Because I can tell you right now that like my dad and I have a very deep understanding of one another and our relationship is very different than yours and dad's. And 90% of that is because I understand what dad goes through on a daily basis for his job. I was there. I saw him interact with the employees. I also saw him come home. And like my dad's a great boss. Like he deeply cares for his people, you know? And that's a side where if all my dad did was come home, right? The complaints or not complaints, the situations that he comes and describes when he comes home have two very different tones when you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
The tone of frustration goes from being frustrated with your employees to now when you listen to it, when you know him, you know that he's frustrated with the situation because he wants to make sure that his employees get paid and they're able to put food on the table for their families, you know? Mm-hmm. Like one conversation that I had with my dad that really changed my perspective on a lot was like my dad told me his favorite time of the year is when he gets to give out Christmas bonuses. And he goes, because I know that especially when work has been good the last couple months of the year, I can give bigger Christmas bonuses. So that means that the kids are going to have better Christmases. They're going to have more gifts. They're going to have more food. They're not going to have to stress about their rent. And like he painted like the macro view of being a business owner. And like I remember just sitting there being like, oh, shit. Like I never even thought about it like that. You know, in my head, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Christmas bonus. Like, you know, but that comes with being in that position. And it comes the same way of being that person for a family. Like there's things that I've done for you you'll never know about. There's things both of you have done for me that I'll never know about. You know what I mean? But it like that comes with like those relationships. So if there's something that is a rite of passage to show my respect for that, absolutely.
I think that's true. Matthew and my dad have always had a very specific relationship ever since Matthew worked there. It changed, and I would say it got better.
Yeah,
like honestly,
absolutely.
Like I do notice the difference though, and this isn't a bad thing. This isn't me putting down anybody, but I'll ask my dad how his day was. He'll go, "It was busy. It was good. It was good." I'm like, all right, and then I'll go to my room or I'll do something, and then Matthew will come in, and Matt will go, "How's your day?" And my dad will go, "This happened. This happened. This happened. You know this guy, right?" And Matt's like, "Oh yeah." And then they start talking about like all the asphalt stuff, and I'm like, there's the difference. Like my dad has a connection with him, so you can talk to him about all these things. Now I'm sure I have a connection with my dad on other levels that Matthew doesn't have. It's very specific to the person, but that's when I realized, you know, from the start when Matthew first started working there, they would talk about work and they were just really like vibing off each other and enjoying it. It was cool to see, you know, like your brother and your dad having a really good relationship. I really enjoyed that, but that work did change it. You know, it helped them.
Even though you worked there too.
I'm the superior janitorial individual worker, I would say. I'm more on contract. So
you're 1099.
I'm 1099. So, you know, it's fine. But yeah, you know, for him and my dad, it was I think it was a good thing for them too.
I do think that, like, back to the Confucian culture, that's a lot of undue pressure, which is where I think Dalton's view on this comes from, where it's like a child has an obligation to their family, you know, where it's like there's so much pressure with that where it's like I don't want to dishonor my family, you know, and like all of that. And then also too, like Dalton's point of view of like, then you get to take that idea of success or honor, but it's trying to see it from your family's point of view, which causes a bunch of problems down the road, especially when they're like, no, like I did this because I wanted to make you happy, but I've been miserable for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I rather have the idea of like I succeeded for myself and doing something that I want to do than have the thing like, okay, I got the job, I got the wife, I got the kids. My parents, are they proud of me yet? Like, fuck off. I'm proud of myself when I do it.
Well, I think too that just stands on different expectations or different definitions of success between generations.
I think there definitely is different expectations.
You know
for
what
me
your
and Matthew.
parents think will bring honor when it comes to you is different than what you think is honorable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to make anyone else proud.
But yeah, that undue pressure then creates this thing, which again has names in the culture of hone and tatame, which is the face you show the world versus the face that holds your desires. But I think that spans, maybe the severity of it differs, but the idea is held true all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's true though. I think everybody does have two faces, whether you're that individual that says I'm truly me the entire time. Like and you're probably right, but there is, when you're alone, every single person is slightly different. And that's because you're alone with yourself. Like, you know everything. You know if you actually did what you said you did earlier. You know if you have actually been slacking. Like, there's no... You're brutally honest with yourself.
Oh,
you can't hide from yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a cool thing, though. I know when I was in high school, I always struggled with that, where I was like, man, like, why am I so different at school than how I am at home? Like, why can't I just... Like, why do I have to put on this face at school and be fake and just smile at everything and act like everything's all excited? A sense of it did have to do with me getting very excited, just being around people and communicating and, doing my thing, being Dalton for what I am. But that kind of, I feel like smile master syndrome goes with everybody. Everyone has it. You can't get away from it. But then it's come from, me being different at school and at home to me being mainly just Dalton. And then when I'm at work, there's like work Dalton, you know what I mean? Where like some things are turned off and I'm just in the zone getting shit done. It's very different, but it's not as severe of a change as it used to be.
Yeah. And then also too, like, I think that there's different sides of you that not everybody should see. Like I think that I reserve pieces of myself for certain individuals that I know I can be that vulnerable with, and I'm pretty open about a lot, but there's definitely some things that I really only talk to you guys and Monique about, or like that close, like inner circle that I consider to be like my family, you know? But yeah.
Well, yeah, the whole idea of the smile mask syndrome came from like service workers mostly and stuff like that who just had to smile so much that like then they couldn't tell when they were smiling because they lost all feeling. Like, smiling gives you... It creates some kind of chemical reaction in your body, and for them, it just completely
is gone.
Yeah. Smile. Let's see. Do you feel it? Do you feel happier
happy
now?
as fuck right now.
Well, that's an actual thing, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, if you feel, smile every once in a while, and
Makes you feel better.
No, I mean it does because your body's doing it. So
faking it till you make it.
The chemicals will react as if you're actually happy. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys smile while we take a break.
All right, and we're back, and we're going into the first of our signature segments for today, and that is...
You got 99 cents with your name on it. It's advice.
Should have warmed up a little bit there, buddy.
Nah, it was perfect. It was perfect. We only need to hear it once.
Yeah. We got 99 cents with your name on it. It's advice.
Nice.
Is that one better?
You cracked the first time.
Did I crack the first time?
You did.
I can't tell.
This week's 99-cent advice is looks don't matter.
False.
It's false positive, as I like to call it.
A false positive?
Yeah.
What does that
In
mean?
what
I want to hear.
context?
I want to hear.
Okay. Go, Dalton.
I want to hear what he means by this.
Looks don't matter. So
It's a false positive.
So it's a false statement because for a lot of people, looks do matter, but it sounds nice. Get what I'm saying now?
So it makes people feel better,
Yeah.
but it's not true.
It's not true. Unfortunately. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I know people think that people who actually, are true to themselves and tell people the truth, sometimes it comes off very rude. But to me, like, sometimes looks matter. Sometimes, for certain situations, in certain scenarios, it matters. Now, if it's like, oh, I can't be a stripper because I have like a dad bod. No, plenty of strippers have dad bods. You can do that, and good for you. And,
You mean like women strippers have dad bods?
no, also dudes. Yeah, also dudes. But they all do their own thing. You know what I mean?
Matt said false, and he came out hot with it.
Yeah. What's your false, Matt? It's not a false positive like mine.
I mean, I agree with that.
Right?
I never would. My mind doesn't race there. I think that looks definitely matter. I think that we are so quick to judge everybody.
Your Christmas tree comment.
My Christmas tree comment.
Your Christmas tree comment. Remember we talked about this earlier this week? I woke up from my nap and I was like, Matt, why do we all decorate ourselves? And you're like, dude, we're just walking Christmas trees.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, fuck, you're right. I'm a fucking Christmas tree.
You already got an ornament on your arm.
Yeah, I know.
No, we.
Oh.
Those biceps, bud.
We
I
make
miss the cups, but yeah.
we make snap judgments. Now, whether we hold the person to the preconceived ideas that we have about them or not is a completely different topic. But whether we like it or not, we do. We live in a society that definitely rewards people that are good looking. And it's not saying that if you're not quote unquote good looking that, it's bad or negative. Like that's just, but we tend to have these ideas about beauty and it tends to lead into other things. Like studies have shown that people that are more symmetrical in their face or more attractive, they have an easier time with doing things, or they normally get higher grades, or they there's just a lot of things that tend to be skewed that way. So I definitely think that it matters. I think it's an uncomfortable truth to hear. I don't think it's not a popular opinion. I don't think we like it, but I think that it is true.
Maybe definitely in art, like Americanized culture, looks do matter. It's like how much like we like celebrate like celebrities, like how we glorify celebrities, rock stars, the way they look, the way they do their hair, how we copy them.
Compared to,
I don't know.
I mean,
I only know what I know, where I come from.
look at like K-pop. K-pop is, I think, probably
What's
even
K-pop?
bigger in celebrity idolization than America.
Korean pop.
Where have I seen
pop
this?
stars?
Like BTS. BTS is a K-pop band.
I don't know what BTS is. How would I know this?
They're just a way bigger celebrity idolization than
Oh, really?
America. Yeah.
Are they like the?
It's like Korean's version of boy bands and boy pop bands. And
Oh, okay. Right on. Okay.
But yeah, you're right. Celebrity. Yeah. The whole idea of celebrity, I think, well, not necessarily. I was asking
Illuminati.
because like, I would say British TV and film and stuff like that is not like, if you watch British TV, it's going to look like normal people, quote unquote, normal people.
Yeah.
Compared to, normal people on an American TV show is all going to, it's like the Friends. Like,
Yeah.
or the whole theory that as the TV show goes on and gets more successful, everyone gets better looking.
Yeah.
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 Muscles.
But what context does looks don't matter have? Because I feel like
Just,
Looks don't matter.
well, that leads us into then, when is the right time to give the advice? Looks don't matter.
Oh. There is no right time.
Is the only time it's good is like as like a lie kind of thing? Is it a lie to say looks don't matter?
To me, that's a lie.
See,
At least that's
So
the way I would use it.
When would you give that advice?
Unless it's in like just say you have a friend. And your friend, and by the way, this has nothing to do with anybody I know. This is just me think of a scenario. You have a friend, and your friend wants to get some type of plastic surgery, and you're like, why? Like, looks don't matter. Like, and you think they look good the way they are, but in their head, like, you saying that is basically you just putting them down and being like, you know what? No, you're right. Because I think in somebody's head, when you tell them looks don't matter, it still doesn't come off well.
yeah.
Like it doesn't come off in the context that you want it to. It's just a very particular use of those words that never can really hit the mark. You know what I mean? So the person that wants to get their surgery or whatever just feels like it's being downplayed. It's not as serious as they think it is, but in their head, that's all they've wanted for like their whole life. You know what I mean?
So I think on a societal level, I think that this advice never applies. But I think on a personal and an individualistic level, it applies a lot, right? Because the same beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, that's different from me to you, and that's different from one person to the next, right? Like, there's a reason that, like, some people aren't attracted to one individual, and then, like, they're married and that their significant other sees them as the most beautiful person in the world. Like, has their physical appearance changed? No. But it's just the person that's perceiving them, the frame that they're looking at them through is different. Yeah. You know, those values are different. So that's why it's kind of like it's a hard one, because I think in society, if you're a quote unquote more attractive person, things are just going to be easier. I don't think that that's what anybody wants to hear, but it's true. But I think that same person that may not, you know, have the easiest life based off of their looks can also just be in an absolutely amazing, loving relationship that she is just adored, or he's just adored. You know, I that's why it's kind of like socially true, individually not so true.
Like, people will talk about like this like model is dating this dude, just a big guy, like isn't as fit as she is, doesn't do all the activities he does, and their lifestyles are very different, but they just mix very well. And everyone's like, oh, he doesn't deserve her, he doesn't deserve her, like all this stuff, right? Like, I forget what couple it was, but there was some couple that they were talking about it with, and they're like, no, looks don't matter to her. Like, what matters is what's inside, you know, what that person brings into the relationship, which is also very true, you know.
But I think you guys are also talking about it in a relationship setting or a romantic setting. What about in a performance field? You know, I feel like that's like the case when it's like, looks don't matter. Get the job done, and the actions will speak for themselves.
Oh, so like an actual like project of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Like being a 250 pound or 280 pound like cross country runner, like seeing like somebody that's like just behemoth of a man.
Yeah, if they keep getting first, then yeah. I mean, I guess if like the results are there, or even say like, you know, at your job as an engineer, like I need the project to do, this is the goal, it needs to complete this, and you make this just hodgepodge like giant contraption, but it gets the job done. I think even at that point, it's going to depend on the person. I know me, I would want it to look really good and get the job done. I wouldn't want it to just simply get the job done.
I think at that point, it's just about, you know, how much is that going to cost if you're adding all these different things to do.
Mine doesn't matter to me. I want to look cool as fuck.
Yeah, in this scenario, Dalton is so wealthy, it doesn't matter.
So okay, you guys have said that it's pretty much never good to use it, but when is the worst time to
child's birth
tell someone looks don't matter?
Child's birth.
Okay, so give me the situation.
Or a mother telling,
give me the scenario.
A mother telling the bride that on her wedding day. Sweetie, looks don't matter. All right, scenario, baby pops out crying, baby just wailing, healthy baby just has
the post-hardcore baby.
I'm hungry, Mom.
So it's Matt.
Yes, Matthew.
Breast milk. But it's got like a second nose or something. It's just an ugly baby. Like second nose like right here. And you just grab it, you hold it, and
smelling everything.
And then like, you know, you look at the mom, and you just go, looks don't matter. He's beautiful.
And then you go, lies. Well, they would probably do surgery if that.
Absolutely.
Noses, right? Yeah. They would do surgery.
Probably come out all right.
I feel like that's happened before.
How about interviews? That's a popular thing, I think. Well, no, that's not a popular thing. But like interviews, you know, do you think that's good advice to tell someone?
So places that I've worked, people that I know that are managers, they looks do matter in their eyes when it comes to working at those certain places, and they take it very seriously. They will not even consider somebody if they do not quote unquote look good. Yeah, not the best thing in the world. I'm not gonna say where, but it's fucked up. You can get the job done. Fuck yeah.
But I'm simply in the sense of like, you know, coming to an interview in a suit versus coming in
Yeah.
a button, a collar, a polo, and
So
jeans.
there's a book called Blink, and it's all about this. It's all about snapshot decisions that we make. Have we talked about it?
No, I just blinked for the camera.
And it's all about how like we make like preconceived ideas. Like for instance, you know how I always give you a hard time about not having laces on your shoes
Or wearing that hat.
Okay, it comes from that book because when you walk into a job interview or whatever, if you look down and you see somebody without shoelaces, studies have shown that it's an automatic assumption without even speaking to you or saying a word that you're lazy.
Oh.
You're too lazy to tie your shoes?
or efficient.
Or that you can't tie your shoes.
Depends on...
There's too many questions that arise from why don't you have laces?
And so, but it's those snapshot decisions where it's like, I do think that looks and first impressions do matter. Now, as I said earlier, hopefully, and I try to be one of these people where it's like, yes, I do make judgments, but I also give everybody the opportunity to prove me wrong in my assumptions, right? Not everybody's like that. Some people, it's like, I've seen people do this where they make a judgment about somebody and that is law. That's just how that person is.
Yeah, that sucks.
Everything, you know?
Yeah.
So
So is this 99-cent advice or is this $99 advice?
I'd say $99.
You think it's really, really good advice? Looks don't matter.
Oh, no. It's 99-cent advice, but if you can take this and like actually just keep that in the forefront of your mind as you live your life, it's $99 advice. It's good to know this, that they do matter.
It's good to hold, not good to give.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll hold $99 and I'll give a cent.
Yeah.
That's pretty selfish of
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Hey, there's what it is.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What are we getting into?
Yeah.
Don's excited for our next topic.
Yeah, man.
Is he? Is he excited for our oldest segment?
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Is it canon, bro?
Can you not do
Nah,
that?
sorry. Voice crack.
It's ingrained. Now both of you have cracked your voice. This week's Is It Canon is a very popular one. It's about the Denver airport.
Oh.
The Denver airport, you say?
Do you mean...
You mean the secret UFO base?
So how much do you know about this already?
What I know. Matt, shut up. I know the Denver. I know the airport base, like you said here. These are all things that I pretty much already know. No, but these are things I watched like a little documentary about it.
What was the name of it?
A little documentary about the Denver airport.
I don't know. I watched it years ago. Basically, it took forever to finish the Denver airport. There was like so much construction happening. And if you look at like the what do they call it? The architectural designs. There's like it goes underground. Like it goes deep underground. There's levels and sublevels and sublevels and sublevels of things that nobody knows about because we all see the surface area of it. The airport's huge. It's beautiful, but there's also thoughts on them sending like there's certain ideas of like the New World Order. Like they do a lot of propaganda type stuff in the Denver airport, around the Denver airport, like on posters and stuff like that. They have a really weird statue. I don't know. Is it a horse statue or something?
Yeah, the fourth horseman.
Yeah, something creepy like that. I think that everyone thinks that it's the New World Order that is coming, that it works there, the Illuminati. But even says here it was the second biggest airport in the world, but ranked 20th in air traffic, which is very odd. And it's $2 billion over budget and finished way beyond schedule. When you say beyond schedule, does that mean like
past the date it was supposed to be done?
Okay.
Like
I
so
took it
much
the way.
that they stopped giving updates and they were like, we're not even going to say when it's going to be done because we have no clue.
Yeah, and I can only imagine because I know I've been to LAX a few times, and they were doing so much construction every time we went, and I was always wondering like, what are they working on? What are they working on? I can only imagine from it being this much work and how big it is, like how long it took them to do it, including with everything they're doing underground. And I don't think they keep aliens there, but I do think it's like a society, like it's a very important location for some type of establishment.
So there's 3 theories. Matt, you want to give the 3 theories?
Yes. The 3 theories is that, as Dalton said, it's the New World Order headquarters.
Which we've talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
They are The lizard people.
The lizard people. The second one is they are FEMA camps waiting to be used. I don't know what FEMA stands for.
Me neither. I forgot.
Female education
Nope,
mafia.
that's not it.
Announcements.
We'll
That's
figure
an
out
interesting. Hold on here. Female education mafia announcements.
Yeah.
What does that group do?
It's a female mob. So basically,
And they just make announcements.
no. I mean, they make more than announcements, Matt. So
You're the one who said it.
what I think they do is I think they're a very strong part of women empowerment. Maybe they go heavily into the women like rights movement. They deal with the people that run the show are the ones that are in office, the one that help with the politics, and I think it got started up by maybe one of the Ma families from New York, or
Yeah.
they started there like, you know what, I want to be a strong, I want to kick ass too.
So it was like the mob wives.
Yeah, and they built the biggest fucking place possible
In Denver.
in Denver. That's why it's so nice there.
What were you gonna say, Matt?
It stands for Federal Emergency Management Agency.
Ah,
So you weren't close, but you weren't, close.
yeah.
And then the last one is Doomsday Bunkers for the Elite.
Which is also very interesting. I
So
can see that
it's-
too.
One is like a headquarter for the elite,
The other one's for the
Illuminati,
mob.
and the other one is a bunker.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like Dalton was saying, they claim to have people who worked on it say that they built 5 multi-story buildings underneath with the tunnel system for whatever is going on down there.
I mean, I could see it being like a doomsday bunker type thing. I feel like the FEMA camps is not really, but definitely a doomsday bunker. That thing is like, it's in there. It's deep. It took forever to make that shit.
It's definitely there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
I
the
don't
second
know.
it's the second biggest airport in the world.
Yeah.
But it's 20th in terms of how much traffic it gets.
Yeah.
So there's 19 other airports that have more stuff going on there, but for whatever reason it's the second biggest. I don't know what the biggest one is.
I'd be curious to see like why they would want to use Denver as the new world order headquarters. Like, is it like the middle of the earth, like geographically? Like, there'd have to be a meaning for it to be like, you know what I mean?
Is Denver in the Mile High Club?
Is Denver?
Is Denver a mile up in the sky?
What's the Mile High Club?
Yeah, what's the Mile High Club, David?
Where you're a mile up in the sky?
That's not what the Mile High Club is.
What is a Mile High
What do you
Club?
fuck in the air?
Yes, it's when you go have sex in the airport bathroom. Or airport bathroom.
Well, sue me.
David's all, I am in the Mile High Club. In the airplane. So usually in the bathroom. But I mean, if you want to just risk it for the biscuit and just do it on the seat,
There's a video of a couple that did it on the seat
How do you do it?
on Spirit Airlines.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, how?
She
Just
had
no shame?
No shame. She was on top of him. She had a jacket over her, and he was just going to town. And the girl was recording. It was like, you saw her face. Her face was literally like this the whole time, like recording it, because she couldn't believe it. And like you could see one of the people in the back like didn't know how to respond to it, but then everyone else was asleep.
Nice.
So I can see why they thought it'd be okay, because everyone else was like, I mean, it's not okay at all, but I can see why they were like, okay, we can get away with it because everyone else is asleep. And it was like dark and everything. But
Good for them. Just joining the Mile High Club. At least someone else got to witness it, It's kinda cool.
would you if you joined the Mile High Club, Matthew, would you brag about it? Would that be a brag that you would bring up?
To who?
Just to people, like if
No.
you're
No. I would probably tell you two. That's about it.
I feel like one of those things like when Matt gets drunk, he'll just be like, I joined the Mile High Club. Here's my story.
What do I brag about when I'm drunk that makes you think I would bring that up?
I don't know.
When I get drunk, I just start giggling at everything.
No, you don't. But I think I don't know if I brag about it. I feel like I feel.
Who would you brag about that to?
I don't know. Cause
You guys aren't the kind of guys that brag about any kind of conquest.
I don't know. I feel like I would want to find a way to talk about it for the first time. You
You
know,
guys ever
like,
been a mile up in the sky? You ever gone clubbing?
don't you want to stick your dick in something like that high in the air and then be like, oh, what do you mean by that? And be like, well, and then boom.
And then whoever you're dating is like, hi, I'm something.
Well, you know, it could be that person, it could be someone else. If somebody maybe you meet on the airport,
Yeah,
the
you never know.
You know, who knows?
Never know.
Just have a mile high, one air stand.
I feel like you could
You
pull
really
that off
tried
if
for
you're
that
like
one. You
if you're
really
sitting
tried.
down like on an airplane and then you just look at a girl and like you say you guys like hit it off. You just look at her and be like,
And you go,
Mile High? You want to join the Mile High Club? And if she says yes, you're good. And then you know,
right on.
speak your truth.
We gotta have
Yeah,
a
man.
flight attendant on here or something. I'm sure they know every single time
Oh,
someone joins.
I wonder if there's a
Mile High
flight
Club.
attendant like subreddit.
Oh, 100%. There's got to be.
Yeah, we should read those.
We should read that.
All right, back to this. So Dalton, that statue you're talking about is called Lucifer. It's the blue horse statue that represents the fourth horseman of the apocalypse.
How do
Which
they know?
is
Lucifer,
what's the fourth horseman of the apocalypse?
a horse, a headless horseman.
A piece fell on its.
I don't know.
A piece fell on its sculptor.
So the sculptor guy was doing his thing. A piece fell off,
Severing a
severed
leg artery and
killed the
killing
sculptor.
him.
Dunzo.
He didn't let me read it. I was trying
It's
to read
death. It's death. The fourth horseman of the apocalypse is death.
But
Oh,
how,
and then the
how do they
sculptor
know?
died.
Like, shut up. How do they know that that's what like that is called Lucifer? It's like, did he say that this is the fourth horseman?
That is the nickname that the horse statue has gained.
Got it. I didn't know that. Okay, thank you for answering.
Because it's
that.
a giant
I
blue
don't-
horse statue with glowing red-orange eyes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece.
You
of
seen
art.
it?
I think I have. Yeah, because I've watched the little documentary on it. The capstone near it with Masonic symbol. And
I don't
caption,
get this though.
New Airport Association.
Gargoyles
New World
line
Airport.
the baggage
Oh.
claim as a sign of evil.
Well, the
Aren't
gargoyles line the baggage claim, and people say that the fact that they're there is a sign of evil.
No, gargoyles protect from bad spirits.
Yeah, but why are they there in the first place?
You would know if you watched the cartoon. Huh?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. They come to life.
Yeah.
You mean Hunchback? I've never-
No. There's
No, Gargoyles.
There's a TV show. There's a cartoon called Gargoyles. We watched it growing up. That's a very hard word to say. Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Um,
I love what's the theory of the braille on that
Yeah,
tablet.
that's really interesting. There's there's a braille on tablet. It's secretly, braille on the you worded this weird.
The braille on the tablet is secretly a keypad that communicates with aliens.
Well. Loki can read.
Wait, I want to see this.
So because it's raised,
Click on
like when you touch it in the right way, it becomes a keypad instead of just braille.
Oh,
It's like a secret bookcase, you know? Are you looking at the murals?
yeah.
So if you go down, there's 2 murals in there that are pretty wild. And people have definitely used that to claim that it's part of all of the
Talking about the world.
hysteria. There's 2.
The first mural is called "In Peace and Harmony with Nature," which is said to symbolize the environmental destruction versus environmental healing. It's located in the West baggage claim area. So there's 2 murals. Both of them have a bunch of people in it. One is like fire, trees are on fire. They're in a forest. The second one is like running waterfalls, blue skies.
I'll
and
put the picture.
everybody's- Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see that. And then, well, for our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
And the second mural is titled "Children of the World Dream of Peace."
And this is the one that gets a lot more focus.
Here it is. Oh,
Whoa.
okay. So you have a army man with a skull face holding what looks to be, it's like a AK?
Yeah.
AK, but it has like a knife on the end.
He also looks like a Nazi.
He does look like a
Yeah,
Nazi.
definitely.
And then he has a sword that looks like it's stabbing a dove.
Emphasis on dove.
And then it's like a bunch of weeping mothers, like following like his trail behind him. And
Kinda like-
but there is a rainbow.
From his head to the side of the panel.
And then there's a bunch of like broken. This is creepy, dude.
And then it goes to the other half,
Go to the second
which if you
section.
scroll down a little bit, shows you the other half of the mural.
Up. This one. That's where the rainbow leads to.
Oh,
Oh, and there's
so the rainbow. If you follow the rainbow, it leads to.
is that the Statue of Liberty that's broken?
No, that's the soldier.
That's the soldier. So now the soldier looks like it's dead, and then everybody is in happy harmony.
Yeah. World peace.
So people take the reality side, because it's basically two where if you look in the side where the soldier's like up and about, there's a child sleeping in it.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the world that they live in, but what they hope will someday be true.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. So Dalton, what do you think, man? You think it's pretty canon?
I think it's canon as fuck.
Okay, hold on. Which of these three theories though?
I think if I had to put them in a number, I think 1 is New World Order headquarters. I think 2 would be the Doomsday Bunkers. I think 3 would be
the female
mafia. Yeah, I would definitely put that one at 3.
I thought that was gonna be your first.
I really considered it, to be honest.
I think since he just made it up right now, it's probably not.
Need time to simmer.
I gotta let that thing. I gotta write some stuff. I gotta write some stuff. I gotta do some spider webs. Really let it simmer.
I think it's canon. I don't know. I don't
canon?
know for what though. Yeah, I think it's canon. I think there's definitely more. The FEMA camps, not the FEMA mafia, but the actual like emergency meeting areas. I think that, or management agency. I think that makes sense. Like you're gonna have that much land used for one thing, and you're not even gonna go down underground. Or if you do, you're telling me that there's not gonna be something built there for some reason. Like I think there's definitely something going on. But
right.
I don't think that all the murals or anything are like depicting what's going to happen, because why, if they wanted to keep us controlled and in the dark about everything going on, why would they leave clues?
They leave clues everywhere, in every movie.
Why does the Riddler leave clues?
Because he likes riddles.
It's like
because he needs to prove that he's smarter than everyone. So what's the best way then?
Ego.
Yeah.
Very true.
Ego is a stone cold killer.
But yeah, Matt, what are you squaring up with this week?
Wind.
Fuck off.
God damn,
Dalton,
dude.
anytime you bring anything up to Dalton, his first response is always
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Dude, these winds kill me.
Oh, fuck, I know what I was going up with.
They literally they blow. My allergies are just terrible, and I have a really bad headache, and I can't wait to take allergy meds and go to bed. Dalton, what are you squaring up with this week, dude?
I'm squaring up with the fact that Mahomes has a concussion, and I called for the Bucks and the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl. So
Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs.
So I'm kind of bummed. I've been calling all the games.
Mahomes is you two guys.
You my homie too.
Cool.
So that's what I'm squaring up with, is why did he have to have a concussion? Hopefully he can get through protocol pretty quick, but I don't know if he can get it done in.
Yo, I think he got knocked out. I don't think he has. I think he got a concussion, but I do think he got knocked out. When you see him walk off the field, he's dazed.
Really?
David, what are you squaring up with this week, bro?
I'm squaring up with shoddy craftsmanship.
All right.
So we've been selling a bunch of stuff to pay for all the new stuff we're going to get. And that giant display case of all my movies?
Yep.
I sold that case.
How much? If you don't mind.
$60?
Yeah, that's pretty
It was
good.
half off.
I was expecting like 20, dude.
But the thing is, it's really strong compressed plywood for the ribs, but the back is just
Like a thin piece of
paper cardboard or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's split into two halves, so the joints are really weak, but the wood is really strong. So I've always had it up against my wall. We were going to sell it. I had to move it out to the front. First, I was going to put it in the truck. And so we were moving it out. It's had something to support against it. We were trying to get it into the truck, and it just right where the two pieces meet, just snapped.
Oh.
So I texted the guy, and I was like, sorry, dude, I broke it. It was really fragile. And he was like, yeah, for sure. And then but I didn't take it down because I was like, let's see if I can fix it. And then someone else was like, cool, I'll take it today. And that was the only day they had. So I had to run home and go to Lowe's and get a bunch of hardware so I could reinforce it myself. But the screws wouldn't go through because the wood was so hard.
Yeah.
And that's where I was stressing myself out the entire time up to the second he got there.
Yeah.
And then he was like,
time, baby.
he was like, dude, I was going to go to Best Buy. This is literally half the price.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. And I was like, all right.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And then
dope.
I was done.
That's
All
dope.
right, well, screw that shoddy craftsmanship.
Matthew, what's your woe dude of the week, bud?
My woe dude of the week is some high-ranking official in Canada confirmed that we have one species of aliens that live among us. And however, they are not evil. They've agreed with our elites to just live among us in harmony and just play along with us. However, they're getting fed up with the way that we have been treating this earth. And I don't know what that means, but I thought it was super interesting. But yeah. Dom, what's your woe dude of the week?
My woe dude is that a lot of car companies are going all electric. And Dodge decided to just soup up its fucking minivan to the most extreme extent, to where like just way overpowered for what a fucking minivan should be. And it's insane how like so many cars are going electric, and it's becoming more and more of a thing. You know, we're not gonna be spending so much money on gas. And I know me and Matt have talked about it. Like I go back and forth on wanting a Tesla and then wanting just like, you know, a Camaro, like back and forth on wanting those cars. But it's crazy how it's just changing completely. And so, you know, you have like Ford talking about their all electric trucks, their Ford all electrics, and you have like Tesla going more and more deeper into it with their semis now. And then you got fucking Dodge, where they're just like, fuck off, we're going harder in the gas.
Yeah, I think they put like a Hellcat engine in or something.
Yeah, something crazy, dude. It's wild. It looks insane.
And David, what's your woe dude of the week?
My woe dude of the week is the wind also. But
Yeah?
just the sounds it can make, the insanity of like air moving through certain spaces and stuff can just like, if it's just moving fast enough, it can howl. But if it goes through your car, through the little like spots in your car at the speeds it goes, it sounds like something screaming.
Yeah.
Or like shrieking.
Yep.
And just that phenomenon in nature, that's always pretty crazy.
Yeah. Nature's crazy, man. Nature's a butthole.
Yeah.
But
Dom, what got you stoked this week?
I would say what got me stoked is, probably when my parents got me for my birthday, got me a nice silver necklace, and then a meaner version of this necklace.
what does meaner mean?
It means it's black and silver. It's thicker.
Yeah.
It depends like which angle you look at it. It's a different.
It just
shape,
looks
different
mean.
color.
I like it.
looks-
I love it. I
Like
love it.
you're gonna look mean wearing it, or it looks.
It's
mean?
a weird thing. He clips it and he goes.
Yeah, I instantly get angry the minute I put it on. So it's like my fighting necklace.
But it came with a bracelet, which I think is pretty
Came
cool.
with the bracelet too.
It's like a Horcrux.
It's super dope. I've never been a really big jewelry person, but I've always wanted a necklace I could wear consistently. And now I have a necklace I could wear when like I want to look, you know, a little bit spicier. You know what I mean?
David, what got you stoked this week?
Pop punk is still alive on TikTok.
Yeah.
Seeing more and more of those things where people just throwing the love to old school, middle school pop punk with, except for Green Day. Green Day is going through, and a lot of people are using American Idiot and they're like, that's why I voted for Trump. And then everyone,
Good God.
and then a lot of other people are like, no, you know what the song is actually about, right? But just like so many people showing love for pop punk on TikTok.
Right on. I love pop punk.
Matt,
What's
what
up?
gets you stoked this week?
What got me stoked this week?
Matthew doesn't have one yet.
Uh-oh.
No. I kind of want to. I don't know. What got me stoked this week?
I could give you another one that got me stoked this week.
Wait, can I use it? Tell me what it is. Then just let me run with it. Oh. So my honorary celeb story. Dalton's second got him stoked this week, but not stroked. Couldn't
get that one.
is Gaara and Rock Lee's fight in Naruto. That is an epic scene. If you
You're rewatching Naruto.
Dalton is, yes.
I am. Yeah.
Once he gets to the part where I stopped, I'll probably join.
I was also gonna start scoring up with how many fucking filler episodes they have.
Yes.
But I kind of like them. I've watched a few of the fillers, and I know they're fillers. But I like how they go deeper into the world building and the lore of it, and I can kind of appreciate it more than be like annoyed with it. But just sometimes it's like stuck on going.
I got
like
my
5
stoke.
minutes.
This jacket got me stoked this week when he gave
Whoa.
it
It's
to
a
me.
nice jacket.
I fucking love
Nice
it.
jacket.
What do you remember of?
Only.
That was, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked that. That was really bad.
That's okay. No, I've never heard of this brand, but apparently it was big when my dad was younger. So
Literally the worst
she gave it
guy.
to me. I love it. But yeah, cool. All right, if you made it this far into the podcast, thank you so much for your time. And if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Go ahead and click the subscribe button, the bell icon, so you know when we upload our videos. And go ahead and follow us on all of our social media platforms, not platforms, at Drumm Podcast. Everybody, stay safe, and we will see you guys next week. Until then, I'm Drumm.
And I'm Drummer.
We'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye. Pulling you in.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
I was trying to get you in to say bye. You didn't. You weren't responding to me.
I didn't know that's what you were doing.